What's up, guys? Welcome back to our podcast. I saw a Facebook post. It was really long, but there was one part that really stood out to me. It said something to the effect of, tell me who you really are, but leave out most of the details. And that really, I don't want to say it struck a nerve with me, but it made me realize that a lot of people out there, they have this thought process behind relationships, or you get into a relationship and you tell the other person, I want to know everything about you. Let's talk. Just tell me. But in reality, for a lot of people, not all, you don't really want to know all of the details. You want that person to hold back some stuff. Because if I came to you and was like, I love you, right? I love you, but really, you get on my nerves 98% of the time, and I want you to just leave. That wouldn't be ideal. That wouldn't sit well with you. But the reality of it is sometimes I do just need a break. And I can go to my partner and be like, hey, babe, you know what? Today, I need you to take the kids and get out. Just go. But that doesn't necessarily work for other people. And so the concern becomes, and that's really trivial. Let me say that. That's something relatively small. But the concern becomes when you have a person that has a lot going on internally, right? They have a lot of issues that they're trying to work through, but they feel like, even though you're saying, come to me with whatever, they feel like subconsciously or consciously, you don't really mean that. And so I hold some of this stuff back, and I'm not totally honest with you. And I'm keeping some stuff inside because I don't want you to judge me, or I don't want you to look at me differently, or I don't want you to feel this, or I'm too embarrassed about that. And so you end up only giving parts of yourself instead of all of yourself.
Right. I've never experienced that for myself. I think that you have to ask yourself, okay, why do I feel like this in those situations? Why do I feel like my partner wouldn't be receptive to this? And you have to kind of just look at the whole situation. Am I with the right partner if I feel this way? Or is this a situation that's just happening within me? Because that's avoidance.
It is 100% avoidance, but it becomes like, just for instance, we'll just go something totally extreme. You have a woman who maybe she's in her mid 30s, but as a teenager into her 20s, she sold herself for sex,
Mm-hmm.
right? But she's cleaned her life up. She's
Mm-hmm.
gone off to college. She's a professional woman now. And that's a part of her life that she doesn't want to talk about because she feels like her partner might judge her.
I mean, I think most people would judge, to be
Right.
completely
But
honest.
as my partner, I should be able to come to you and talk to you about these things
Right.
without feeling like I'm going to be judged. The same thing for a guy. Like, in his youth, he did some things that maybe he shouldn't have done.
Mm-hmm.
And he's changed himself.
Right.
And now he feels like, well, I can't tell her this because she's going to look at me differently.
But again, that goes back to that being a problem with either inside of yourself. You just trying to avoid that because you feel a certain way. You don't really know. And it also goes back to what type of partner you chose. Did you choose the partner that would be accepting of that? This is something that you should know ahead of time. You should have spent enough time with this particular partner to understand what type of characteristics this person, will exude. Am I able to come to this person with anything? Is that true? Did they tell me in the beginning, hey, anything that you want to talk about, we can have this discussion? And if they told you that, what in your head is giving you the thought pattern that, well, actually, I don't think that they would accept it.
Fear.
I understand that it's fear, but then that's a problem that's within you. Like,
So how do you address it?
but see, that's the thing though. Is how do you address it? It's many
Yeah.
ways. I mean, there's therapy, but you have to recognize that there's an issue within inside yourself and not try to put, okay, all of this on your partner. Because in this situation that you're explaining, you're saying that yes, it's fear, but I don't think that I will be able to do it with them because they're going to judge me. So you're placing all of that on your partner and not on yourself. It can go both ways. It can be
I think so.
It can be an equal ground. Maybe they will judge you, and you can also have that fear. Two things can be true at once, right? so so but the thing is though, how do you know what is what? And if you know for sure that your partner is going to judge you, then why are you with this person?
Because you love them.
It
They make you happy, but you just can't disclose that portion
right. You
of yourself.
You love them, but you feel like they don't love you enough to see you through whatever issue or whatever part of your past. But the question is, why did you put yourself in the box of, I'm not going to share this particular portion of my past with them because they're going to judge me? Because and I know people will be like, well, you don't have to tell your partner everything. That's not their business. But if you feel like you want to share this and you can't get over the hump of sharing this with them because you're fearful of their judgment, then this is probably something you probably should have disclosed to them. If you're that embarrassed, that's probably something you should have said.
But if I'm embarrassed about it, why would I tell you?
Then you need to take a step back out of dating and trying to have a partner and fix your issues with inside yourself. Because
but what if it's not an issue? What if it's something like...
So why are we talking about it then?
No. I mean, what if it's not like a bad thing? What if I have like a kink or something that I don't want to tell you about because I don't want you to judge me?
Then again, it just goes back to what partner. This is, again, fear has to deal with self, right?
Sure.
This is something that you have created in your head, and it's a rational fear for you. But the other side of that is your partner and who they are as a person. If you have not gotten to the point of knowing about their values and their morals, or maybe you have gotten to the point of their values and morals and you feel like, okay, I want to share this with them because what I know of them and what I've seen personally, then you got to decide, okay, if I don't feel safe enough to share this with them, is this person the right person for you? Because I believe that you should feel safe in all aspects to be able to share whatever you want to share with your partner.
I agree.
Now, if you're thinking about chopping somebody's head off or something like that, then I don't know what partner is going to be like, hey.
It's some out there now.
And they all should be in jail.
They should. Y'all should not be together.
Psychiatrically looked at. But go ahead.
I think a lot of it comes down to what we always go back to, and that's communication. I can remember just being in a relationship a long time ago. I think I was in high school, and not wanting to share things or being uncomfortable with saying things out loud. And what really helped, this is just, an option for people who are struggling with something like this. We had a notebook and we wrote down things that we felt like we couldn't say out loud. So we wrote them down. And then you respond by writing whatever your response is. And I don't know why that helped or made it easier, but it did. It made it much easier to communicate. It gave you a moment to think about what you were going to say before you said it. And then give that person a moment to just, I put it there. I don't have your immediate reaction. It's not right there. You have a minute to think about it. It felt safer. So that's an option.
Writing things down.
Yeah. And then burn it.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is, you might need to burn it.
Okay. Anyway, I mean, yeah, I can see why that would feel better and it would seem safer. Because with speaking to somebody, you're often available and ready to be able to like rapid fire off a statement or a response. Because a lot of times we listen to respond and not to actually intake whatever is happening. But with reading something, you don't have a choice but to slow down.
Right.
You just don't have a choice. So I can see that. But the question becomes, do you have the type of partner that's going to be like, why the heck are you writing things
I don't know,
down?
because then one time I needed to tell you something real important and I wrote you a letter.
I was confused. Now, this was before we were together, but anyway.
First of all, he wouldn't read the letter.
No, you need to talk.
And that's exactly what you said.
You need to speak.
I didn't want to talk. I needed to write it down.
I don't read. Now let me stop.
So make sure your partner is willing to read whatever it is you're trying to write down, because he would not read it.
Yeah, that goes back to you knowing who your partner is as a person. This situation is interesting though, because again, why are you with the person that you don't feel safe enough with? And again, is it but wait, is it founded though? Is this a scenario that you're making up in your mind because inside of yourself you don't feel safe? And if that's the case, then I don't know who would ever be able to make you feel safe enough except for a person coming to you expressing something crazy that's on the same level of what you need to express.
But I think it's a disservice to put it into a box and say that as the partner that has something that I need to tell you or I want to discuss with you that I feel like I don't feel safe with you. That I do. I think it's a disservice. I think it minimizes it because it may not be that I don't feel safe with you. It's just I'm not to the point where I'm comfortable with whatever it is that I need to discuss.
Mhm.
I'm not to the point or the comfort level to voice that outside. And it does go back to what is it about me? There's something within me that doesn't feel comfortable
Right.
with putting this out there. And it's not just you. I am supposed to be, as my partner, I should be comfortable with talking to you about
Mhm.
anything.
Mhm.
But sometimes, depending on what it is, I have not dealt with it,
Mhm.
or I'm just not ready to put it out there, regardless of who I'm speaking to.
Right. And the problem with that is, well, obviously there are many problems, but one of the things that I'm picking up on is the fact that as a partner, I'm supposed to be there to help you,
Mhm.
right? But I can't help you if you're not telling me what's up. So I can't, as a partner, even ask you, how can I help you express what you need to express? You know what I'm saying? If you're not willing to express it to me, as a partner, I don't even know what the problem is. I don't even know that
Don't
there
know
is a
what you don't
problem.
know.
Right. I don't know. I don't even know that there is an issue happening because you won't express it. But like you said earlier, it may not even be an issue. It may just be something that you want to say and you're just too embarrassed or fearful to admit. And you said, let's talk about the kink side of it. You see, this is why a lot of people end up not being pleased in the bedroom because you embarrassed about your kink, but you don't want to share it because you feel like your significant other won't accept it.
Don't judge me.
You might want to go ahead and share that if you feel like it's going to help you get to wherever you need to be at the end of the session. I mean, nobody's a mind reader, so you're going to have to share. But again, if it is an issue like a serious type of issue, you definitely are going to have to look within and try to figure out why this is something that is causing so much fear surrounding this issue. And you also need to look at the fact of, well, take an inventory of your relationship, what you know about the person that you're with, and see whether or not it's founded that you don't want to share with this person. Like, is it a reason to why you don't feel safe? I hate to keep going back to that box, but that's really, to me, that's
I
what
don't
it
like
kind of
that
boils
box,
down
y'all.
to. Because if you felt safe enough, because safety, when you feel safe, you're not scared.
Mm-hmm.
You feel
I
comfortable.
get why
You
you're
feel at
calling it safe.
ease.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you feel all these different things, but when you're outside of that, then you are fearful. You don't want to do certain things. You're not at a level of comfort. You're not somewhere where you want to be. So if you're not in that space, to me, it's only two spaces. Either you're safe or you're not. That's it. And if you're not, okay, you're saying don't put them in a box. What's in between that?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for what it is. I just
It's a gray area.
So if it's me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't not feel safe with you. I'm just not comfortable to tell you whatever it is I need to tell you.
So,
And before y'all come for us in the comments, this is not about us. I
I'm
don't have a
just-
problem telling him anything.
I was just about to say, you
No,
need to
I
share
have
something?
no problem telling you anything. That's not an issue for me. But we have built a relationship and a communication style that we can come and tell each other anything. Like,
Right.
I'm not uncomfortable with telling you that. But I don't like I don't like saying that, okay, as the person with something to communicate to you, that I don't feel safe doing it because I don't feel like I'm in danger. I am just maybe uncomfortable with this thing within myself and I have not dealt with it or processed it or come to a point where I'm ready to share with someone else, even if it is my lifelong partner, the love of my life, the person I know I'm going to grow old with and die with. And I know that I should be able to tell them anything. But this thing, I'm simply not there yet.
Okay. So I want to kind of backtrack on what you just said, and I understand, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with what you're saying. But how do we build that communication style?
How did we build it?
Yes.
Well, I think because we were friends first.
Okay.
For whatever reason, we have a tendency to share more with our friends. You easily build these communication bridges with your friends more so you do with your partner because you're trying. I don't know why that is. Now that I say that out loud, that seems real stupid. But that is the reality. You tend to share way more with your friends initially
Because
than you would with a new partner. Now, as time goes on, that changes. But I think for us, because we were friends first and you saw so much of my life before we were ever in a relationship, and there was never any judgment.
Right.
It was just very easy to roll that over into our romantic relationship.
And that's why people are able to share more with their friends, because they don't fear that level of judgment that you would from somebody that is opposite of you. You know what I'm saying? In a relationship. And I can agree that that was the main reason why we were able to build that type of trust that would allow us to share all these things. Really not much to share after you've built a long friendship like that,
Right.
because you kind of know everything about that person. So for somebody that would be like, all right, so I didn't get that level of friendship, before my relationship. How can I move forward and, gaining a level of communication that you guys have gained within your friendship? Like, what would you tell them?
I think that you have to make the conscious decision to drop the guard. Like you have to take it and pull it down, because if you don't, then you leave your partner to try to break it down. And that causes a lot of effort when you can simply put it down. You have to lower it and allow yourself to just trust and talk, communicate. It's not an easy thing, but it is very much a conscious thing that you can do. And I say that because I've done it. I have consciously pulled down the guard and allowed myself to be open with him. But if you don't do it and you leave your partner to chisel away at that shield that you've put up, it's gonna cause more issues than it solves.
Like what?
Lack of communication, lack of trust, and your partner's gonna get frustrated because here I am trying so hard to break through, and every time I get a little crack, you go and patch it back up.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad though, because when you think about it, it's so many people on both sides. It's not just women that have these walls up. So many people walk through life in relationships not willing to do what you just said, not willing to drop these notions and these walls that they have put up for protection. Because I can imagine a lot of people be like, well, I don't know how to drop this wall. How can I drop this wall? What if I drop this wall and I'm hurt?
That is a risk now.
Yeah.
But think about this, right? Sorry, I have a horrible fear of heights and sometimes water, like natural water being swept away. But for people who do things like go on roller coasters and jump off cliffs into just random pools of water, that seems very scary to me, right? But if I get there and I get to that edge and I know that I want to experience this is on my bucket list. I want to jump off this cliff into this river, right? I make a conscious decision to set my fear aside and jump, knowing that I could get hurt. It's the same thing.
Yeah. And I think it's honestly, you might have to autopilot yourself, because along with your situation or what you just explained, yeah, it's fearful. But just think about like car accidents. Do you know how many car accidents happen daily? Especially where we are. It just daily, every morning, like people just dying.
And they gotta come see me.
Right. You know that being in cars, driving cars, you can get into an accident. You know what I'm saying? but you have put yourself on autopilot to think that, okay, well, it's not going to happen to me. I'm a safe driver. You know what I'm saying? So you get in your car every single day for you that drive every day, and you drive to your location knowing that there's a chance of you getting hurt, but you still do it anyway. So to me, lowering down these walls and in relationships and having the thought in your mind that, okay, well, what if I get hurt? Well, what if you get hurt? What if you get into an accident? You don't stop driving, right?
No. But the other side of that is when you don't get hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a beautiful experience jumping off that cliff, landing in that water, and seeing the beauty of it. And in your car scenario, you make it to your destination.
Mm-hmm.
Like, none of these bad things happen. You don't get hurt. You don't get into a car accident. There are no broken limbs. There are no scraped toes. You have a beautiful experience and you make it to your destination.
Mm-hmm. And being in a relationship, especially with you, I had to learn myself not to have such a pessimistic view.
Please and thank you.
If you don't have this negative outlook, then a lot more of the positive will come your way. That's my belief. At least that's what I've seen happen with me. So I don't know. You drop the negative view of relationships, sharing, communication, and I think with what you said, I think you'll make it to your destination. All right, close us out.
I think that's it. As always, it always goes back to communication. That is key. That's our takeaway for tonight. That is our word for tonight, communication. And that's it.
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Night.